Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of In Their Own Words. This YouTube channel is mediocre and it's brand new. So please, if you don't mind, like, comment, and subscribe. In this video, this is going to be part 1 of the Sarah Boone interrogation video.
This morning we went to his autopsy, and we were informed of some injuries that he has by the doctor. So so he's got scratch marks to his back.
I know what that's from.
Okay. And it's called a contusion. Do you know what a contusion is? So like basically you're getting hit and then you get a mark from it. You'll get bruising. Like someone hit you or something like that. It's called a contusion. So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. We could see his mouth was a little
I haven't laid a
swollen.
hand on him.
Okay.
Also too, he fell off my son's bike,
Okay.
so I don't know. And he's notorious for running into the wall or the hall tree. So
Okay. What about the scratches? Because
Sex.
there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like a scratch on the back of his neck, kind of going, but it's going straight across.
I have no idea what that's from.
And they're all recent. They occurred recently. It wasn't something that occurred post or that occurred a week ago or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. They definitely occurred, the night leading up.
I think it's interesting that straight off the bat, Sarah Boone has excuses for these injuries. She says he fell off her son's bike, he walks into walls. I know that substances are an issue with them. More to come on that. We'll have to kind of go through this and decide if we think this is a substance abuse issue or if this is a domestic violence issue.
So when he was...
In all honesty, we have not gotten into it.
Okay.
That's why, the only thing I thought you guys were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is. Nonetheless, I've had my son over the house too, so.
Well, your son was there when? When was he last there?
Oh, gosh.
From my understanding, he was there last Tuesday?
I don't know if it was Tuesday, but yes, he was there last week, so.
Well, we're talking about Sunday.
Yeah.
We're just talking about what occurred Sunday. Because like I said, the injuries they occurred within that time period.
So you're talking about day before yesterday?
Sunday leading into Monday. You called us yesterday at 1, but the incident, you guys were painting and stuff the night prior.
Correct.
So we're talking about Sunday and then into Monday.
I'm thoroughly confused because we had a good time sitting on the back porch, having wine and smoking a couple of cigarettes, and then decided to go inside and literally paint, do puzzles, and play, and listen to music. That's why nobody got out of sorts. This is what's mind-blowing to me. I have no clue. Nobody laid a hand on anybody.
He also had...
I don't believe that she believes what she's saying. I believe that she's trying to convince them of what she's saying. This is what we did. I don't understand why you would accuse me of doing anything but paint, play games, drink wine, smoke cigarettes.
On the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on his head and skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him.
I
considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him.
Then how would you get those injuries?
I have not touched him. Believe me, I have not touched him. Look at me, innocent Sarah Boone. I have not touched him. To me, she seems to be saying it as if she is convincing that I have not touched him. Do you understand me? I am telling you something that I need you to believe.
Tell me and we'll both know. I have not touched him.
Yesterday, when we took photographs of your overall body, and they did the buccal swabs, did they go under your fingernails?
No.
Okay, are you willing to let us
Absolutely.
swab underneath your fingernails?
Go for it.
Okay.
I have no idea, and I don't want to seem out of sorts, but I have no idea. We had a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good day. We've had good days lately,
Mm-hmm.
even considering everything that's going on with our jobs and life in general and ex-wives and everything. It's been good.
So now, originally in this interview, she mentioned about her son being at the house last Tuesday. We do know that she has an ex-husband, but she said with our jobs, life in general, and ex-wives, she doesn't have an ex-wife. So she's specifically talking about Jorge's, who they call George. She's talking about her boyfriend's ex-wife. So she's saying this with such confidence, and she's choosing her words to convince the police of a story that she wants them to know.
Like, I don't even know where this is coming from.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
said
even
the
know.
last physical was probably, you said, I think, what, a month ago? Where you got the injury, right? You said that was a
I'll
month
say
ago?
a few weeks, give or take, yeah.
A few weeks. That was the last, like, physical altercation between the two of you? You said a month ago he hit you with a curtain rod.
Yeah, with a curtain rod. That's why I can't believe you guys didn't take that either.
Wow.
Like, we've been.
See, this is a pattern with them. This DV is a pattern. So Sarah is not. She is very versed in dealing with the police. Now it sounds like that this kind of domestic violence went both ways. As much as they are both a perpetrator, they're also both victims of each other.
Good. I don't know if, like, it's since the last time he got out of jail. Like, we've been good, and he's been having his classes and seeing his probation officer, who's amazing. So.
What do you mean by good? What's your definition of good?
The probation officer?
Oh, no, you said you guys have been good. What's your definition?
I've been good. I don't think you all.
I've been good. How dare you say anything other than I have been good?
Understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me.
I am the victim. How dare you accuse me of being anything other than the victim?
So it's either I flee or try to go upstairs and go to sleep. That's usually what it is. And I don't know if you talked to Brian about any of that, but most of the time when I flee, I go over there. So.
Right, but you're saying that you guys have been good, and when I asked you yesterday, the last incident that you could remember was the curtain rod incident, which you said was a month ago, so.
Give or take.
Right, so what do you mean by he comes after you? Like,
he gets belligerently drunk.
mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you all have looked through my phone yet and seen any of the pictures and the videos that I have taken.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, I started documenting everything.
Okay.
So you all will see in my pictures, bloody fingers, split foreheads, he split my nose. I've got this.
Right.
I don't know if Brian told you about it, where I had to have I had one really bad surgery, but then it got really, 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 really bad, where I had to go like 4 or 5 more times afterwards for them to tend to it, from him poking me in the back of the leg.
Right.
So it's.
Then why are you still with him?
Everybody asks me that. When I tell you guys this, I really love him, like I do, and I feel like I can help him. Like, I
do believe that to some degree. I do believe that substances are probably an issue too in their household. If they are abusing any substance, it no doubt adding fuel to their fire. It does sound like there is a history of abuse. I mean, now her boyfriend is not alive at this point to really be able to understand what that looks like on the other side. If she's abused him, how much she's abused him, what she's done to him physically. But at this point, he's deceased. Is this the consequences of his actions, or is this retaliation, or is this just the way their relationship has been? It's just been so volatile that now it's escalated and somebody has gotten hurt and died.
Like, I could help him, which I did, because he came a really long way from where he was in Philadelphia to moving back to here and to dealing with everything else that he's been dealing with. Mm-hmm. I've really helped him. I've bailed him out of jail, 3 times. I've gone to every single hearing and every single arraignment, everything that I did for him.
She very much needs to be in control of the situation. in control of the narrative, in control of what George did, in control of his recovery, in control of his rehabilitations from getting out of jail to his probably DV classes, probation, parole, whatever was going on with
I
him.
want to see all his public defenders go to the state. I've gone to the state. I did everything for him because I'm trying to help him, because I had hope in him. And he was trying. He was really trying. And then he starts to think about things, and I think he gets overwhelmed. And then it's like, the next thing I know, he's drinking. So it's like, oh man, I know where this is going to go. So I'm going to go upstairs and read a book, or I'm going to go for a bike ride, or I'm going to do something else. Where I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. The occasional wine, whatever, or if it's a weekend, that's when you have a good time. You don't have to wake up the next day. I have to wake up the next day and do things. I have to tend to Lucas. I have to take him to school. I have all this stuff to do. He doesn't know how to, I guess, maintain himself, where I can do 50 things at once and still know the 50 things more prior that I need to get done. He can't process like that. He didn't process like that. So he would literally, not literally, but have smoke coming out of his ears. So the next thing you know, he doesn't want to deal with it. I'm going to go get something to drink. So the majority of the time.
Yeah, that just sounds like alcoholism. I'm sure that he was forced into classes and treatment if he was part of the jail system, but doesn't sound like any of that stuck.
I would hang out outside or do something else because I don't want to drink. His job broke his heart, and it made me sad because he had so much pride in his job. And the store that he took care of so much totally went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And that broke his heart because he had put so much work and effort into fixing it up. And his manager was awful and basically gave up on all of the employees. So I think that had a huge bearing on why he would drink so much. His ex-wife.
I mean, that's unfortunate, but that's part of being an adult. That's not really a reason that you should go into a spiral. Again, that just sounds like alcoholism. I need an excuse to drink, and any little thing is a big thing, and anything is an excuse to pick up a drink.
Is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
She was all over him all the time. Send me money, send me money, send me money. How can I send you money when I don't have a job? And he's still trying to take care of me and Lucas by paying a bill here or there, getting some groceries. So he always had something on his mind, which is why, again, I got the puzzles and the paint to try to get him off of it so we don't have a drink, or he doesn't have a drink. So when you all see my phone, you can see all of the damage he has done to me and the videos of him smashing my television because he's
Sounds like on her phone, she's documented his actions as if she was planning for another escalation, like as if she was planning on being in a position where she had to say something like, see, look, this is all of the things he has done to me.
legitimately drunk. Where most of the time, I just don't want to be there. And I try to help him. I try to calm him down.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, he just passes out.
Well, yesterday it made it sound like you guys were just drinking.
She says she doesn't want to be there, almost insinuating that she doesn't want to be around him. But if he's not paying any bills and not working, I don't see what exactly was tying them so closely together.
Drinking like a glass or two. Like, yeah, you obviously had the bottle, but you told me on recording, like, that you were not drunk, he was not drunk, you guys were having a good time.
I can't get drunk. Number one, I do not want.
I can't get drunk. I don't believe. There is a video that's on the internet of her talking to him while he is in the suitcase, and she sounds sloshed. So I can't get drunk. The only reason that she would be saying that is because she is being monitored and should not have been drinking in the first place.
I don't like being non-compos mentis, having my wits about myself. I don't like feeling out of control.
She doesn't like feeling out of control because she has a innate desire to control absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm just saying, you're making it sound like he's a raging alcoholic today, and yesterday I was kind of asking you those questions, and you're like a little defensive, like, no, we're not alcoholics.
I'm not.
We are not, you know, but you guys are both sober.
I'm not an alcoholic. Don't call me an alcoholic. These are all the things that George has done on alcohol, but don't you call me an alcoholic. I'm perfect. I'm in control. I like to be in control. I make the things around me better. I made George better. I made sure that he saw his probation officer. I made sure that he did this. I made sure he went to his classes.
On Sunday, to your knowledge, because when I said you went and passed out, you were like, no, I didn't pass out, I just fell asleep. So now it's kind of like, what is it? Were you guys drinking and it got out of hand and
no.
it got physical?
No.
Or is it?
Sunday was one of the better days that we have had in quite some time. He's dancing with my dog. You can see that too on the pictures, him loving the dog. He loves the dog and dancing around, having a good time, and just being happy kind of thing. He doesn't know, I can get like maybe 2-3 glasses of wine and I'll be fine. But I have to have my wits about myself because I don't know what to expect.
Well, let's talk about Sunday. What was Sunday? How were you, like, how many glasses of wine did you have? How many glasses of wine did he have? The bottle was gone. I mean, I don't know if you poured any out. Yes.
No, that was from previous.
You said that there was a half bottle left
Yeah,
over.
about this much.
Mhm. And then that you had went. Well, I don't even know how the wine. How'd you guys get the wine for Sunday?
I'm guessing he went to Publix.
Does he like leave the house and you stay home, or do you go to Publix? Like, because I know
Sometimes I'll go with him.
If she is as controlling as she appears to be, there's no way he just walked out of the house and went to Publix and she has no idea where he is. If he's not working, I don't know where he's getting money from other than her.
Did you go with him Sunday to
No.
Publix?
So most of the time what happens is, because the convenience store where we get cigarettes is here, and then Publix literally is cattywampus to it.
Okay.
So what he'll do is he'll go by Publix, and then on the way back, catch the convenience store.
Okay.
So
Is that what he did Sunday?
I'm guessing that's what he did, because the next thing I know, he's walking in with a bottle.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's him trying to be nice, so I don't have to go out and do it. Plus, there's stuff that are around the house that I had to take care of. So that's usually what will happen. Or I'm folding laundry and he'll go run out and do whatever.
Okay. So, where were you guys at on drunkenness, not drunkenness on Sunday? You told us you weren't drunk.
No, I was not drunk.
Right.
I was not drunk. So
I was not drunk. I was not out of control. Do not accuse me of being out of control.
with him, I don't know. I know when it's like, oh, okay, man, where I have told him, slow down. It's starting to catch up with you. Slow down. Slow down. And another thing too is I don't like listening to music with him because he gets too involved in the music, and the music that he listens to is a little rough around the edges, and like just, it makes me fractious listening to his music. So I kept asking him, let's just you and me talk. You and me will just be the ones that are talking, which was fine, because I mean,
Some of this also makes me wonder if there was substance abuse other than alcohol going on. Arguably, one adult could consume a bottle of wine and not get blackout drunk, especially someone who is a very heavy drinker. So I wonder if some of these other complaints, some of these other nuances, not enjoying a particular music or him over enjoying a particular music, has something to do with also consuming substances and alcohol, which could be why the reaction is so volatile. Not that it can't be on alcohol. I think that one bottle of wine doesn't necessarily, I think that a grown adult drinking one bottle of wine who is arguably an experienced drinker doesn't equate to a man ending up dead in a suitcase.
we were playing with the dog, whatever, and then it's like, okay, now let's do the painting. We just did the puzzle, took a break, now let's do this. Sure enough, sat down, we're sitting in there talking, laughing, talking about new movies. We're watching movie trailers while we're doing painting and all that other stuff. So it's still background noise to him, because I think that's what he's used to, is having background noise. Where me, I can sit in here all day with not a peep. But he always has to have some kind of background noise, which I didn't mind because the trailers were cool. And he was interested in showing them to me, getting excited about movies that were out or upcoming. It was.
But you said it was a good day.
Also, sometimes there's a correlation between methamphetamine and coloring pencils. Don't ask me why, but sometimes that's the case, and that could be an indication. I'm not going to read too much into it.
Like, you guys didn't have any conversations about your relationship. You guys didn't go down like the rabbit hole, like had too many to drink, and you guys start getting.
Nope. When I tell you this, it made me so happy that he actually listened to what I had to say. With just, we'll get through it. This will be fine. It's a small hurdle that you and I together will get through, because
I'm talking about the money.
DV is not a small hurdle that they will get through. It is a pattern of behavior that is a problem and is destructive.
Jobs,
daughters, yes.
Nothing relationship-wise, though. Like, no issues. Like, did you guys have a conversation about your relationship, or was it just about
just
like
what's going on right now?
Got it.
I try to evoke it from him so he gets it off his chest, because I call him the volcano, where eventually he's going to erupt.
Right.
And what he has learned in his classes is to communicate, which is a huge thing in a relationship, where he has been practicing communication. So he actually talks to me about things and unburdens himself. Put it on me. I'll sit there and try and figure it out for you. Like, I have almost everything. Not a worry.
Just let me control the situation and everything will be fine. If you let me control it, it will be perfect, because I make everything perfect.
Tell me, get it out of you.
Right.
But it was, when I tell you, I was so happy. Like, it was such a good day. I kid you not. The weather was beautiful outside. I'm the one that had him go inside so we can do puzzles and painting and listen to music or whatever else he wants to do. So then he starts doing whatever it is we're doing together in the living room, and then starts talking, because I think he gets comfortable with, okay, you know what, we're here. It is a good day. Let me go ahead and explain myself. So I know. Nobody else knows, but I know. Nobody knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself. And I tried in every way, shape, and form. Ask everyone. I helped him. I took care of him.
I am the best thing that has ever happened to George, and how dare anyone accuse me of anything differently. All of the situations that have happened, all of the times the police have been to our house, are George's fault. I am perfect. I do not make mistakes. When George listens to me and does whatever I say, everything is fine. When I am in control of the situation, there is not a problem.
I miss him a lot, and I didn't even sleep last night. I miss him a lot.
I mean, is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him and
I never stopped.
trying to?
I never stopped. That's what I'm here for. I never.
Her face literally says, "That is ridiculous. Why would you think that would be too much for me? I can do everything. I'm perfect. Why would you dare say that?"
Stopped. I'm here now because I'm still trying to help him.
Yeah, we just don't. I mean, it's unexplainable how he got these injuries, and
I have no idea.
you were the only one with him.
100% right hand to God. I have no idea how he got them. Nobody touched anybody. Nobody touched anybody.
Okay. You had mentioned that you would take photos, videos, kind of like a proof and just in general.
Yeah, I started documenting at one point, but that was way before, I think, the last time that he got arrested, where he was flying off the deep end. But then I had him bailed out. I got him out of jail.
Right.
But because he had violated,
I got him out of jail. I made the decision to bail him out. I am the hero here. He got himself in jail. He was horrible to me, and I bailed him out.
the pretrial diversion, this time it's probation, so you don't have a choice in it. You have to go to see your probation officer. You have to go to these classes. It's court ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Where it took him a while to get used to it and understand, they're not messing around. I even went down and met his probation officer, which I say she's wonderful. That's one of my questions too I need to talk to you about. Hugged me and said how much she knows that I take care of him. She called me personally one time when George was at work, when he was working. 42-minute phone call. She and I just saying how grateful she is that George has me. And she knows how hard I'm working.
I suspect that phone conversation went something like, "Hi, Sarah. I can't get a hold of George. He won't answer my calls. I'm going to throw his ass in jail. Where is he?" And then the rest of that conversation was Sarah telling her how she has George doing this and George is doing that, and how she has George doing this and that, and how as long as George listens to everything Sarah says and does everything that she wants him to do, everything is great. And look how good she makes it. Look how good she makes their house. She makes everything really good for him. He's doing so good since he's been listening to her.
Help him, just as she is and just as the classes will. So once he started actually going on a regular basis to the probation officer and then to his substance abuse class and his, I don't know what VIP stands for, Batterers Intervention Program,
Mm-hmm.
and actually listening to what it is everyone had to say, he changed. Like I could see a change in him, where before lashing out, he would think about it and would always come home and show me his papers, and we would look over his papers together, where it's like, wow, you actually are learning this in class? And some of the stuff that they would show them, like videos, he would come home and be like, "Sarah, I'm so sorry for what I've done to you." Because for a video that he watches to make him feel that way, where it's like, oh man, I have done her wrong. But he's changed. He changed.
And that's why you're still with him, even though he's done all these things to you. And
When I tell you I love him, I love him.
Even when you love somebody, you have limits.
Everybody tells me that. All my neighbors don't tell me that. The office property manager.
At some point, somebody gets enough, then they have to do something to defend themselves.
I would just flee. And I don't know if you would like to see on my phone, or I think it's actually on a laptop. I actually, because, and you have to understand too, I have, like, prior to classes in PO, kicked him out. How many times? I had him arrested. How many times?
But you also went down and bailed them
I
out
know.
the next day.
I know.
what's on your laptop?
I don't know, but it could be that she had him arrested. My gut says that she might have had him arrested a couple of those times so she could bail him out as a form of control. Like, I had you arrested and I bailed you out. This is what I can do to you. I can get you thrown in jail and I can get you out of jail.
What was I going to tell you? Oh, previously,
Mm-hmm.
I actually looked up how to file a restraining order.
Okay.
Because I would take him out, his parents, because of them constantly having to take him back in, his bags of clothes, all his stuff. The last time, the father came out and irate and just not even, I don't even know if he knew Lucas was in the car, just opened the back of my car and just started throwing all his crap in, just throwing it. Like the car would jostle, he was throwing all his stuff.
I'm sure that George's parents were fed up with this situation one way or another. I don't think that George was the perfect victim, because I don't think that there is such a thing as a perfect victim, but I'm sure that his parents were tired of the issues. Every gangster, when it's time to do gangster stuff, runs to their mommy and daddy. And I'm sure that George was no exception to that.
At that point, because I continually did it, not continually, I think I maybe did it 3 times, and he has nowhere else to go. they got fed up and said, nope.
3 times is a lot of times to be hauling all of your stuff out of the house and back to your parents' house just to kiss and make up and then haul it all back.
Either you're staying there or you're staying here. But if you're staying here at their place, it's permanent. You're not going back over there anymore. So what happens is he pursues me. So I don't know if y'all know where Katie Way Trail is.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's literally right there from our apartment.
Mhm.
Would ride his bike to work, but before he would leave extra early and come up to the wall, stand on top of his bike and poke his head over because he would know that I would be outside having my morning cigarette and cup of coffee. And I would also know too what time he would get off of work, where I would know, come getting off of work, he's gonna do the same thing. So it's not like I ever got like a break from him, where I told you all yesterday or whenever it was.
She could have created boundaries to make sure that that didn't happen, and she chose not.
I started to feel that it was too much togetherness. And when you have too much togetherness, friction happens. So I'm gonna go ride my bike. I'm gonna go upstairs and read a book.
Thanks for watching.